What's up, everybody? It's Grim, and you're watching Thrash Maniac 99 Wrestling, Gaming, and Metal videos. Hit the real intro.
What's up, Thrashers, and welcome to yet another episode of the Mosh Pit Reviews. It's been a month since I've done a solo album review, and if I remember right, the last album I did a solo review on was for the Queensryche album. But today I am here to review another highly anticipated album in the progressive metal world, and that's Periphery's new album, Periphery IV, Hail Stan. Now, I have reviewed Periphery albums in the past. I believe I have reviewed their last two albums, the Juggernaut Alpha and Omega double album, and Select Difficulty Periphery III. And I thought that the Juggernaut double albums was really good, though I thought the quality started to slip a little bit with Periphery III. But before I get to my review, a little brief history about Periphery. Periphery is a progressive metal band that formed in the mid-2000s by guitarist Misha Mansour, who helped to create the djent guitar tone. And before anyone says anything, djent is not a genre, it is a guitar tone that was inspired by bands like Meshuggah and Periphery. However, with that little rant out of the way, to continue on with what I was getting at. So I didn't listen to their first two albums. The first time I heard Periphery was with the Juggernaut Alpha and Omega duality back in 2015. In fact, that was one of only two album reviews I did in 2015, along with Napalm Death. I did check out Periphery III Select Difficulty, and while it wasn't bad, I did sort of feel like the quality started to slip a little bit. So does this album continue that? Well, there are a lot of parts on this album that I really like. However, if I were to give a quick thesis about how I feel with this album, is that the whole djent guitar tone is really not my bag, because when bands abuse the djent sound way too much, that's where it tends to get boring, and I end up getting quite annoyed with the music, quite frankly. However, with Periphery, they don't abuse it like, say, other bands, Port of Osiris. They don't abuse it as much as some other bands within this whole djent thing is doing. Even though, like I said, it's not a genre, it's just guitar tone, but a lot of people like to think that it's a genre. But with that being said, like I said, there are a lot of parts on this album that I really like that help create atmosphere, create a mood, whether it be in a somber mood or an angry mood. And a couple of tracks, such as the opening track, Reptile, and the final two tracks, let me pull them up, because I can't quite remember, Sentient Glow and the near 10-minute track, Satellites. Those were the highlights for me on this album, with the two long tracks, Reptile and Satellites, one Reptile being at nearly 17 minutes, Satellites at nearly 10. They both deliver something different, whereas Reptile introduces a bit of a symphonic influence at the beginning with this more orchestral vibe to sort of start the song off, whereas Satellites has a more melancholic, dark, melodic overtone to it. Whereas Sentient Glow was a little more of the heavier side of the three tracks, and the beginning of the song kind of reminded me a little bit of Avenged Sevenfold with that djent guitar tone. So, while you have those tracks, some of the other tracks on this album tend to kind of sound samey to me, not a whole lot of memory, and also it just didn't really offer too much, in my personal opinion. So with that being said, I'm going to give this album a 23 out of 40. It's a decent album, but there are some moments on this album, and especially in the middle, where the songs tend to kind of sound alike, and it kind of doesn't go many places. But that's just my opinion. What is your opinion about Periphery IV Hail Stand? Let me know in the comments below. This upcoming week, I am going to be talking about Elevati and Exhumer in the next episode of What Else Came Out This Week. But until then, peace out, and I will see you soon.